And we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am so glad to be able to bring balance to your home, one household at a time. And today I have the opportunity to have none other than Dr. Muriel Godfrey with me today. How are you, Dr. Muriel?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. So glad to have you here today. Very glad.
I'm glad to be here.
I had the opportunity, everyone, to meet Dr. Godfrey when I had the different collaborating authors of Building a Bridge, How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It. That alone, that topic, that title, mind-blowing. And Dr. Godfrey, actually, Dr. Muriel, I like to say Dr. Muriel, if that's okay. I know that's
yes.
But she was one of the people that wrote a chapter in this book, chapter 5. So we're going to be talking about her chapter some in this book, and then just her overall life. Life is be literally lifing, as people say, right?
Literally, it is literally life is lifing.
Yeah, all the time. And you know what? I do want to, before we even go too far in our discussion, where is that? I definitely want to I saw something. This was it's been some crazy news and things happening on the news recently, and the plane that flipped over in Toronto, and that the fact that these people survived was mind-blowing to me, you know. And I'm just asking us to all pray for everything that's happening. We know the plane crash that claimed the lives of some of the crew members and all of the individuals that were in the passengers that were in the DC crash with the Black Hawk. It's a lot of things happening around the land, and I just really want us to keep people in prayer. But the videos is all over the internet that you can see where the plane landed and then went into a fiery flipped situation. And thank God all of those passengers survived. 2 are critically injured, according to the news that I've been reading, but the fact that they survived is unbelievable, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we want to be grateful for life, because life in a moment's notice could be totally taken away.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that we do take the time to think about other people, because a lot of times we're thinking about our families, our personal lives, but what about those that are experiencing traumatic experiences way more than what we're experiencing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like life altering, like there's no coming back it feels like there's no coming back. But if we're still here, there's definitely going to be a comeback time and a comeback moment, as long as it's a willing person, a willing vessel.
Well, I am going to tell you all that today you all are in for a tremendous treat, because we have Muriel Godfrey. She's a dynamic, or Dr. Muriel Godfrey. She's a dynamic author, speaker, and mentor, and dedicated to empowering women, strengthening marriages, because she has a very strong one herself, and uplifting communities. And she's the creator of the beloved children's book series, which I'm going to let her talk about. And I want to make sure I pronounce it right anyway. So tell me what the name of the series of the book is called. Is it?
It's Miera. Miera, the girl that
that's what I thought. Okay, I didn't ask you backstage, but featuring Miera. Muriel inspires young readers to embrace self-acceptance and confidence. This woman is just a force to be reckoned with. And so I don't really want to go through the whole bio, because then that's going to take away from some of the things that she will share with you in her backstory. I want to just welcome Dr. Muriel Godfrey to the Kim Jacobs Show today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. your platform is so powerful. It's so anointed, if you will, and it's so transformative and needed and necessary. Um, so I think it not strange that he would have me here, that God would have me to be able to be honored to be on this platform, because he's so amazing. But to bring balance to the world, one household at a time, right? My
Yes.
God, that's so powerful in itself, right? Because I ask God, right? You're like an answered prayer. Being here is like an answered prayer, right? Because I remember, because I write out some of my prayers, right?
Okay.
Talked about um, praying. You talked about not only praying for ourselves, but for other people.
Yes.
That's one thing that I do. I'm an intercessor, so I'm always going to pray for other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I never want anyone, if it's something that I had to experience that was not, that did not feel good, I never want anyone to experience that.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
because God is strategic in his nature, when I'm writing these prayers out, I'm asking, okay, God, move me out the way. You get all in the get in this way, Father God, which makes the path that I travel straight, right?
Right. Right.
So I was at a place maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and I asked God for balance.
Mm.
Balance. That word is so heavy to me. I don't take it lightly,
That's right.
because in today's world, it's so hard to just have balance, especially for those who are called, not sent, but
Oh,
called,
right.
and the ones that have come through some things, right? Where the enemy literally came at them so hard they didn't want to. The enemy didn't want them to get up.
That's
If you get up, what's going to seem so easy to others is going to be hard to you, and that's simply like balance.
right.
Because some people got it all in order. They got this, that, and other.
Mm.
The parts that you have survived, they couldn't step a foot in. But
Right.
with balance, one household at a time, we can come together. We can share our stories. We can lock in, and we can grow and do what we was called here to do, which is literally just share our stories and partner and get better.
You talking about a blessing whenever a person comes on your show and they get it, you get it. You like,
Oh,
yes, this is all I want people to know is that no matter
amen.
what our circumstances are, Dr. Muriel, no matter what we've had to overcome, that we can still make it. In life,
Absolutely.
we can still make it. And even when people are looking at your life from an outside perspective and it looks like it's chaotic and
Woo!
it does not look like you are in any level of synergy with God, we don't have a clue what God is trying to do for that person to get a lesson, to be further blessed, to move them out of the way for some
Mm,
things that they're trying to do in somebody else's life.
mm,
So we just have to when I think of balance, I think of it from a perspective of it is whatever seasons we're in, God already knew the season we would be in.
yeah.
And
Yeah. It's
he knows.
so that was so powerful when you just said, like, it looks like, hey, you just encouraged me, right? Because so many times many have looked and it looked like chaos, right? It looked like, oh, but he's behind the scenes. He's
Yes.
behind, in front, in the middle. He all that, because that's where I called him to be. And if I call him and he told me, because I trust him,
That's right.
he's going to be there. So am I really not where I need to be? You know
You're
what I mean?
exactly where you are, and
I'm
it's working for your
supposed to.
good.
My
It's working for
God,
your
that
good.
was so powerful. You just encouraged me.
Praise God. Praise God. Listen, what is balance to you? That's the question as we're talking today. What does balance look like from your perspective? Because it looks different from every person's perspective, depending upon what glasses we're wearing. And many of you know where my glasses. These are reading glasses. But many of you know I wear my reading glasses, my red glasses, right? And people are like, hey, Kim, that's a signature trademark of yours. Believe it or not, it's
Yes.
just because I like to read and be able to see these words. But, from different lenses, we look at things
Ooh.
from a different
Mm.
perspective. I want to talk to you today, Dr. Muriel, and find out what inspired you to even start writing. And then I know along your writing journey there are times when you have like a breakthrough moment. When was that breakthrough moment for you?
The breakthrough moment began when I met Doretha, because I had always been a writer, right? It's one of those gifts that God sent me here with. So, like you said, during the journey, life be life. Right. I put the pen down because certain things happen. And because of certain things that happen, right? And I would say disobedience, right? Okay. And that's when God told me to move. And I'm like, I don't want to. I'm too wounded. It hurts so bad. And, things like that, right? I got to be real. I got to be transparent for the ones that's out here that's like me, like I was. But to get up, right, means to go beyond that place of fear, right? And I use fear because the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. If you Google it, it's false evidence appearing real. So because I looked at this false evidence that appears so real, I sat back and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get up? Like, and when you dive deep, the deep calleth the deep, and you literally get connected with God, you say, hey, you're gonna get up. But these are the instructions. You're going to do this, and you got to do this before I give you anything else. You got to do this part. Writing was a part of that assignment. And it wasn't so bad as writing, right? Because to somebody who was born with writing, this should be easy.
Right. It should be.
It should be easy. Yeah. But what he commanded me to write about was an area that I didn't want to touch.
Wow. Oh, we getting ready to go deep, y'all. Okay, so first of all, giving kudos to Doretha Wheatley, and they call her Reese, if I'm not mistaken, right? And she is the visionary behind the book that we're talking about, part of what we're talking about today, how to build a bridge and get over it. And in this book, just so you all know, the chapter 5, Healing the Little Girl to Become a Better Woman, is Dr. Muriel Godfrey's chapter. I want to be able to also put your contact information up throughout today's broadcast. So how can people stay connected with you?
So I am Dr. Muriel Godfrey on Facebook. On my other ministry pages, Forever Soaring and Elevating. God gifted me that ministry. He said he inspired me with scripture, right? And it's the eagle. So Forever Soaring and Elevating on all major platforms. That's on Facebook. That's on YouTube. That's on any major platform, with this thing that we do. You look under Forever Soaring and Elevating, Dr. Muriel Godfrey, or Speaker of Life Muriel Godfrey, right?
Good. Okay, Dr. Muriel Godfrey. For those of you that are listening on the audio podcast, is Muriel Godfrey, Godfrey, and Forever Soaring and Elevating on all social media platforms. So I'm super excited about that. And now this chapter is deep. In order for you to come out and start talking about childhood trauma, that means some things happened in your younger years in your journey. Yeah. So whatever you're comfortable sharing with us, we'd like for you to take us back on that journey that brought you to writing this chapter in this book.
Absolutely. So I came up, number one, in a 2-parent household. Wonderful household, right? We are a close-knit family, when my mother and my father's side came together, if you came to the gathering, you would know that it was 2 different sides.
Okay. They all merged.
Flowed together, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that was a blessing, you know what I mean? So when life started lifing, right? Because both of my grandmothers kind of got sick, like around the same time. Okay. Very matriarchs of our family, I've seen older people pass away, but the one that was more impactful, meaning I was of age to understand this was death. This meant not seeing them again. That was my two grandmothers, whom took a great part, both sides, and I also have grandmothers like, so we don't do steps, so stepfather, we don't, my mother always said steps are for you to stand on,
Right. Okay. That's
a
good.
step that the father have given you through an enemy. This is your family, and the
Mhm.
house can be divided, it must stand. So this is who this is. This is your mother, this is your brother, this is your sister, and so on and so forth, right?
Mhm.
um so
That's a good way
doing
to look at it, actually.
right, right. And so that's a lot of what our marriage ministry is built on. We'll get to that as
Okay.
well. My husband and I have a marriage ministry,
Nice.
and so life, and so this is part of how did I get here, right? Because everybody see me now. They may see the successful Dr. Muriel Godfrey. They may see Muriel Godfrey that's married, has this amazing husband with this amazing ministry, and the kids, and so on and so forth. They see the evidence, right? The fruit,
Right.
the evidence. But however, I need you to understand that there took work to become her. It took me being down and getting back up. It took me
Right.
putting God back in his proper place that really caused me to catapult into the place in which I have been looking for. So
Yes.
it took a lot to get here. So if we don't talk about it, how do you know how to build a bridge to get
That's
over it,
right.
right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
so it took me, God said, you have to write this, because I'm like, I'm healed. I could go into some places, right? I partnered
Right.
with some amazing women, right? And, we healed, and we healed for real,
Right.
But to
Right.
know that you're healed for real means that you're able to go back
Hmm.
and get the other ones that look just like you did
That's good.
and bring them along with you, but according to his
Real
instructions.
good.
So he told me that's what I had to do. So this me writing
Hmm.
should be no problem.
That's right.
So Muriel put the pen to the paper.
Mhm.
And so as a little girl, and I'm a big advocate for children and their perspectives, because a lot of times as an adult we don't understand the perspective that a child see in.
That's
We
right.
tell them what they should see in, but they have their own mind. They're growing
That's
to
right.
be their own people. They're little bitty people that's growing to be bigger people. So you're told, oh, you should feel this way, or you should feel that way, and you
Right.
shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that. But I want to understand. I want to, as a child, I want to be understood. As an
That's
adult, I want you to understand me. So literally understanding and treating each other that the way that we're supposed to, we literally
that's
grow, right?
right.
But
That's right.
coming up in an old school raised household, that wasn't always how it was, right? But my parents were big on hearing what we had to say, right?
Okay.
But
That's good.
me, I was a protector at a young age. So I didn't want my parents, like I call myself protecting them, letting them stay focused from
Right.
any of this childhood stuff. I was bullied from first through eighth grade. I never told my parents, because I'm like, they gotta pay the rent, they gotta pay the bills, they gotta do these things. My mind, I'm operating somewhere where,
Right.
above that wasn't really where I should have been operating from.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
in doing that, I did a disservice to myself.
That's right. That's right. So even at a young age, you were protective of other people, and it really put your well being on
Because I
back
was
burner.
not protective of myself.
Wow. Okay.
Writing
So
this book,
so how did this happen? How did this happen where you finally shared with your family and everybody that this
I
bullying?
found myself in a narcissistic relationship.
Okay.
Um, and so coming up as a child, even though this was verbal bullying, um, it was never physical, because number one, it didn't go there, but I allowed things to be said to me that I just swept under the rug.
Mm,
My reason for doing this, that I would tell myself, is, oh, it's okay, love them past that. Love, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Focus on, find you something else positive to focus on. School was that thing. Writing was that thing. I could write stories that I could pass around the class, and they would read and be like, oh, laugh, whatever. The ones who liked, and then the ones who didn't would say whatever they had to say.
Mm.
And so when I found myself in a narcissistic relationship, I asked myself, how did I get here? How did I ever get to the point of allowing myself to be called out of my name? Right. Allowing myself to come second, third, and fourth sometimes, right? Even though there was I love you that was given, right. Even though there was I'm sorry that was given, even though there was different things that I made used as excuses to accept this behavior.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so in order to do better, because I'm like, I'm not going to do this again, right? I'm not going to be undervalued. I am the diamond in the vault. There are diamonds that they keep in the vault. And the reason being is because they're priceless. There's no price that they could put on the shelf to bring it out the vault to present to you. I am that. Why? Because my father said so. You get what I'm saying? Right. So I had to dive deep into the word. In the beginning, there was the word. I had to go back to the beginning. And then the word was made flesh. I had to become one with that word. I had to ask God, how does this relate to me? Show me how to strategically place this, that I become the flesh that lives this word. And so that came with being honest, right? Because he said you can't, in order to rep me, you got to do it in honesty and in truth. Right. The truth is literally the flesh part. So how do all this make, so look, everything's everywhere. It's a big mess.
Right.
How do I start to clean it? The first thing you clean is you. Mm-hmm. The first thing you work on is you. Forgive yourself for whatever happened up to that point. Because after this point, you are a new creature. You're renewing your faith. You're renewing your yes. You're doing everything. So I had to do that, right? Okay. I was accepting things that I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nasty. And I would always say that I owed it to my kids to come up in a 2-parent household because that's what I came in. Mm-hmm. But then it took my best friend of 20 some years to come to me, and she said, Muriel, she said, let me ask you something, because you say you owe it to your kids to come up in a 2-parent household. So what you're doing, and you don't really realize it, but because I love you, I'm telling you this.
She's telling you, right.
She said, you're telling your daughter that it's okay to be disrespected by a man as long as he tells her, I'm sorry and I love you. You telling your son that it's okay to disrespect a woman.
Right.
As long as he say, I'm sorry and I love you. That's and right. My kids was little bitty then. And one thing that everybody knows about me is I don't play about my children. Why? Because God gave me these gifts. God so he expects me to be a good steward over that which he's given me. This is the gift that's going to keep on giving because God says so. So that kind of like did something to me. I'm in the garage. I'm in tears because I'm coming to her about a catastrophic moment or whatever that dealt with all this narcissistic behavior. Mm-hmm. And so I had therapy because I was angry after the deaths of my granny. All this kind of like boom, 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 boom. And so my dad and mom noticed that I wasn't in a good place.
Right.
And so they said, you need help, you need therapy. And so I was like, okay. And I went to go see the therapist, Tracy Adams. I love her. She's a great therapist because guess what? She's going to tell you the truth.
That's good.
I came in there and I'm like, this is why I'm here. I'm here because both my grannies died 4 weeks apart. And I don't know what. I'm going through a depression. It's nasty. I'm telling her all this stuff. And she said, no, that's not it. And so I got a little attitude, like, what you mean? It's not, I'm telling you why I'm here.
I'm telling you why I'm here, woman. And Tracy Adams.
Right? That's it. That's how I felt. But she said, no, you're grieving something deeper. And so then as we went on, she started to point out behavior. She said, I'm going to tell you this. Let me ask you this. Does this go on in your household? Does this go on? Does this go on? And she was hitting it, right? I was like, wait a minute. This woman been spying on me. Now, I done dealt with other women. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about that. I done dealt with other women. And so I'm like, is this woman that, but hey, it was so powerful and transformative, right? Mm-hmm. So that was that. I'm like, my aunt was the third part, right? One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Spirit. Right. She came one day and she said to me, what are you doing? And she told me, I forget which mighty woman of God this was, but she said when she said she couldn't do it, she said she went and laid on the altar. She said, go lay on the altar.
That's right. That's right.
And so I went and I was like, God, I don't know, but if it's up to it's gonna take you. Show me how. I'm willing. I'm gonna follow you wherever you tell me to go.
Right.
Show me how. And so I got out of that situation, y'all. During that time though, life was life. I was in school. My mama got diagnosed with cancer. It was time for chemotherapy. This relationship had ended. I have 4 children that calls me mommy. It's a lot going on.
Yes.
At one time. Fast forward, mama get out of chemo. You know, I'm still going through this healing process. I tell everybody, if it's out of 365 days, when this first happened, 300 of them days, I know I cried. My pillow was soaked. Wow. And I said, God, you promised the tears that I cry in sorrow, you're going to pour out joy. So something got to happen. Something got to happen somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't know how. But I know, God, that you said you would never leave me. I just kept repeating the scriptures to myself day in and day out. In and day out. And then I started to go deep in my faith, learning about fasting. And so I go on this fast. During this fast, I'm praying for my husband because I done wrote a letter to God. I done got real specific in my answer.
Right. Not asking amiss. You very specific.
I know, Lord, this is what I'm looking for. I want a husband. I understand there's a process, but this is what I want, a husband. I did a fast for my mother for her healing. She went to the doctor. She had swelled up real big. Her cancer had came back. My mom was very selfless, if you will. And one day while I'm at work trying to multitask or whatever, and I'm making her appointment, got her oncologist to take her. And then she didn't call the oncologist and said, I know you got other patients. Go ahead and see them. And then, because her...
No, Mom!
And she died that Friday. My world shook. I didn't know how. I can't even say that I wanted to get up. Because when people ask me how I felt, I told them I felt like I got hit by an 18-wheeler and all 18 wheels hit me. Then a train came right behind. I remember being on the floor while my mama body was still upstairs. The first time in 30-some years, I was 33, I seen my father shed tears. And so I seen my father cry. My sister was broken. I was there. Right that October before, that September, my best friend from childhood, he was killed. God showed this to me. Auntie October. Great grandma December. My mama that August. Y'all, it was hitting so hard. I'm like, God, but remember he told me to write this book.
Right.
But there were things that needed to happen. It was necessary. So that day, y'all, God started working that day, August 4th of 2017. Although it looked like everything was out of place, God started working. When I tell you, my friend then, because God sent me a friend that we had went to church, right? Y'all, I'll tell y'all a little story of Meet the Godfreys. One day we'll have another time on the show. I come and tell you the love story. But when I tell y'all, out of those, I had to hurt in order to heal. That was the sermons. I was going through my spiritual journey. I'm like, God, help me. And he sent the drummer to play for the church. This is all for my mom died. And so we were just friends. He was musically inclined. I love music. He's an artist. I love to write.
But wait. You didn't transition. You going from...
I'm transitioning just for one point.
Okay, go.
Y'all all came together to get to the book to heal the little girl.
Okay.
Woman, right? Because God introduced me to my husband during this time. August 4th, or when my mother passed away, he called. He said, I don't know what to do. I'm on my way. He said, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. If you want to cry, we cry. If you want to laugh, we can laugh. I'm on my way.
If you want to get married, we get married.
Okay. Did you hear me?
Okay.
That's how I felt like, right?
I'm just gonna be there however you need.
But at this time, I was on the floor, and my cousin was like, "Cuz, come on, you got to get up." And I handed her the phone after he got out the phone. I'm like, "Girl, whatever woman end up with him, gonna be a lucky woman." That's what I told my cousin.
You know what? I know this is a serious moment of grieving, but then look what God has done.
You see what I'm saying, right? So he kept showing, because I'm thinking it's going to be this moment when I write this book. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be silence. I'm going to be able to write, and it's going to come out on paper. I'm going to get to. But no, sometimes you got to fight. You got to fight. Even though God is saying this is what it is, this is what it's going to be, you got to fight.
Yeah.
To get to that thing. And so, boom, he gets there. I want to be, now mind you, I done told God what I want in a husband. I want to be everything that I'm supposed to be in a wife.
That's right.
How do I do that? That little girl had to be healed. I started writing little different pieces during that time, never realizing what God had me doing, but I'm writing out prayers and writing out everything. And then when I met Doretha, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is time. God said it's time, because my whole time I was like, God, let me know when it's time. He didn't gave me different puzzle pieces. He's now saying, put the puzzle together, look at the bigger picture, and get to where I'm telling you to get. And so I had to be real.
Yes.
With the woman and the little girl.
Wow.
The woman had to apologize to the little girl for what she allowed. We had to make a decision together, the woman and a little girl. Okay. So we ain't never letting this. We are far more valuable. We can do this. Yes. Come on, sis. We getting up.
That's right.
And once me and the little girl had the conversation, the little girl went and she said, okay, I'm letting go of this pain, this anger. Go fly, butterfly. You know what I'm saying? And then God began to encourage me in those that wait on the Lord. He should renew their strength. They should run like eagles run. So he began to just pour into me.
That's right.
And then as when Doretha came, it was like, whoa. She was like, this is what you got to do. But God had already had me write the chapter just by keeping notes during the different parts of my life.
That's right.
And then I had to be real enough with myself to say, I forgive myself from these parts that I allowed. Yes, they hurt. And matter of fact, forgiveness is a whole nother deeper depth. That's because right. There are times and you want to be healed to the point where there's no such thing as a trigger. Me and my sisters was talking about this the other day. What is a trigger? When God says that he'll heal.
That's right.
If you believe God to this level, he made it like it never happened.
That's right.
So there's no trigger. God, show me, make it like it never happened. You know what I'm saying? And so, man,
and that's what God will do. He'll help. I don't know how he does that, but there are some that I've experienced that if I go back to attempt to share all the details with you, I genuinely just can't. I can't remember, it is a really bizarre thing. But it's I believe
no, seriously. Yes.
Yeah, it's a gift from God, because I people be like, that ain't what happened. I'm like, that's not what happened. I'm like, okay, well, whatever happened is what happened. But thank God I kept my sanity through it, and I'm going on, because I really genuinely don't remember all the details.
That's it. And that's it for me. So literally, he's so good. And so he did double, right? Because I dropped this, and I was, again, that level of fear goes deep, right? Because I was like, I'm going to hold on to this until I was going to drop it, because Miera, to give you a little backdrop on Miera, I always said she was a character in my childhood books, right? I always said, oh, if I have a daughter, I'm going to name her Miera.
Look at Miera.
And this is what I felt like, she looked like. So I was like, I'm going to have a daughter, I'm going to name her Miera. Well, guess what? Healing that little girl literally brought me to the realization is I did not do that, right? I have 3 girls. Okay, and
none of them names
are Miera.
What? Okay, that is so profound. Why? Whenever it was like your whole thing that no matter what, I'm going to name my child
That's that
Miera.
healing, right? Because I had put myself on a back burner. Remember, this had been a habit into my adult years. I had to heal the little girl, which brought me to more in my face of what I have not done for myself. I had to learn how to love myself again. I had to learn what I like. Who is this little girl? God brings it back to remembrance in that time. You know what I mean? And in this season, if I could speak prophetically to the audience and to those who are under the sound of my voice, the Lord is saying, I'm taking you back to your first love. I'm giving you those things that you forgot about. So you forgot about those things, but I'm giving it to you, and I'm doing it in such a way that my name's going to be glorified, because if it had not been for God, would Miera even really be birthed? Would anybody know who Miera is? Miera is the little girl who learned to shine. Miera is me.
It's you. Miera is you.
I had to learn how to shine. So in that book, even though it's a childhood book, right? It does so much. God, he poured so much into that project, because not only is it for the little girls and even little boys who read this story and say, hey, you know what? It may trigger some. Mommy, I need to talk to you. Mommy, Dad, guess what? This happened. This is because so many times we could sweep under the rug and not realize that we're teaching our kids to sweep stuff under the rug that shouldn't be swept under the rug.
That's right.
Really happens, it becomes an obstacle for them to get over. But no, we are living in a time where God said, behold, I'm doing a new thing. I'm causing water to run through the desert. That dry area he's speaking to. He's telling them dry bones that you can live. Get up, come over the hump, and look towards the hills for which cometh your help. So literally, it's all happened. You just got to push through, persevere through the fear. What is the fear? False evidence appearing real.
Yes. Somebody type that. False evidence appearing real. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Any of y'all in the audience, make sure you type that. Fear is false evidence. False evidence appearing real. It's just an illusion, y'all.
And when we look at how this is laid out, that's literally all it is. So instead of, because some people just take fear at its surface level, right? And they say, oh, I ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of this. I ain't scared of that. But when you literally break it down in its acronym form, because if you Google it, it should pop up, false evidence appearing real. And when you literally take it to that nature and look at things beyond surface level, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, principles and principalities, darkness and high places, right? So when we look beyond that thing and we understand that fear, because remember, he gave us the secrets. I'm not really saying fear like this because I told you should fear nothing but me. Right?
Fear God.
But the false evidence appearing real, I'm letting you know that if I told you this, anything saying opposite of this is a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Don't even go that way.
Let's say it together. Look, the 1, 2, the devil is a lie. We're going to say it together. 1, 2, 3. The devil is a lie.
So he tells us, you know, and he just takes us, and as long as we choose his path, his way, right? We mess up. We all mess up, but be encouraged to get up. When you mess up, be encouraged to get up.
That's right. And Les Brown says if you fall down, fall on your back, because if you fall on your back, that means you can look up, which means you can get up.
That's right. That's it. So that's what. And oh God, that was so profound. Come on, because God say I got up.
You know what? You said you were speaking prophetically, Dr. Muriel.
Yes.
And you don't even know, but you were really talking to me. Wow. And I'm not going to cry on this. I'm do everything I can not to cry on this episode. But yesterday I had a conversation with Dr. Les Brown. Yeah. And I told him, I said, okay, I know I need to go ahead and pull the recorder out and record what you're saying because you're getting ready to go deep on me. He said, yep, get the recorder and record this. And I recorded it. And I've gone back and listened to it about 5 or 6 times already since yesterday. Mm-hmm. And all of what you were saying, he was pretty much saying to me. And he's been my mentor since I was in my early 20s. And I'll expound on that another time. But woo, you spoke prophetically today because it just constantly reminds me of what God has expectation from me to do.
Confirmation. And we could even tie that to the word. Out of the mouths of two or three, I will bring you witness. So that's the only he's that great that he would have him speak then or me speak now, but it all be a confirmation to you. And then the evidence that you've been in his face talking to him is that he would use his people to speak to you when come on.
Okay. How do people get this book? How do people get the book? We got to talk to you about your family. How do people get this book?
Okay, so for Miera, the girl who learned to shine, it is available. Like if you're following me on social media platforms, right? Because I want y'all to follow me. You can click the link, right? It's all over my page.
Okay.
Another, right? But for those of you who have Amazon, for Miera, just for Miera, okay, for Miera, the girl who learned to shine, you can type her in. You can type in Muriel Godfrey, and you can pull up and get that book. Now, the difference for the book that's on the screen, or that was on the screen, How to Build a Bridge, there is a specific link for that I need you guys to use. And so that link is on my page, or if you get in contact with me in my inbox some way, somehow, I'll send you the link, because that one has to go through a specific link. Even though you may see it on Amazon, I want you to use the specific link. So that is how you use it. Both books are on that specific link if you want to order both at the same time. So I can send that.
Good. So follow her on all of her social media links, and everywhere on the social media links you're going to see Get Over It, how to build a bridge and get over it. And you're also going to see a way to get her childhood book with Miera, which is her basically. So she couldn't name her daughters Miera, the 3 daughters that she has, because she was healing the child in her. Miera was her as a child. Look at God, she's enough.
Yes.
About being bullied. God has much more in store for Miera and for Dr. Muriel Godfrey.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let's get ready to just talk. I would take a commercial break, but I don't think I'm gonna take a commercial break right now. I think I'm gonna keep on going, because there's so many facets. Well, I will acknowledge this for sure. Here, listen, everybody, here on the Kim Jacobs Show, we are part of CTR Media Network. And if you download that app right on Roku and Amazon Fire and all of the different Apple TV, Spotify TV, you'll see CTR Media Network. And we just received an award of being recognized as the #1 show in the self-improvement section. So thank you. I want to compliment and give kudos to all of you in the studio audience around the 100 countries that tune in to the Kim Jacobs Show. And thank you for helping us be #1. I also want to give recognition to who's #1, which is none other than Judy Ambrose, and she is the host of Generational Turnaround. She is in a whole different category, but you will be able to check out all of the categories right on CTR Media Network. Download that app. Then we also have the Michael Finkley Show. He actually received one of the Grammy Awards too. So there's some profound shows through CTR Media Network, hundreds of them actually. So you don't want to miss downloading that app and seeing what's available to you for your viewing pleasure. And I do see Dr. Tina J. Ramsey on here. She is the founder of CTR Media Network. So I'm so honored. I thought I saw a comment. Yeah, there you go. Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, thank you so much for all you do with CTR Media Network. All right. Talk to us about your Boaz.
So, right, hold on, wait. So I learned this, right? And I changed it up, right? Because I used to always say that. My Boaz.
I know.
God.
Yeah, Sean, my friend, told me I don't want to be my Boaz, because Boaz did.
You don't want that. He only lasted for a day.
He only lasted for a few minutes. So yeah, so let's not.
We can't call him that. We want life and life more abundantly.
Like speak life, not
yes,
Boaz.
Lord, yes, Lord. But so let's talk about him, right? He came. Oh God. So we were in church. Now, here's the thing. I'm focused on my healing. Nothing else is important but my healing. To me, God, show me what you want to show me. Every time I come to church, Lord, that's the word. Show me how to apply to my life. I'm taking notes to y'all. I'm talking about, I was so deep in it, right? And I had a mentor at that time, and he was like giving me all the word of God every time. He was like, "You gonna know when it's." I'm like, "Well, how am I gonna know? Right. How am I gonna know when he comes? How, because I ain't got time."
He right there. He right there.
I ain't got time for no foolishness. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I didn't heard it all before.
Right.
So he says, "You gonna know." So now me, my mama, and a beautiful woman by the name of Marilyn, we would go church. We'd be at church all the time. I'm talking about Bible school, Sunday study,
right.
Sunday school, whatever it was. Do you hear me? If we going to another church, our pastor going to another church, baby, we all going together. We on the road, wherever. We church hopping together. Okay, me, mama, and Marilyn, and a few other ladies, right? But Marilyn is a key point to the story, y'all. That's why I keep calling her, right? Okay. Now I'm real. I don't know how to be no other thing but be real. Okay.
That's good.
So we ain't had no drummer one day, and this man came in there playing the drums. Now I'm listening to the pastor. Now no matter how hard whoever came in to beat the drums, I'm listening to the pastor, but somehow I kept looking over here, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, Lord, I'm focused. What are you trying to tell me? So, y'all, this went on. So we come to Tuesday when it's Bible study time, right? They ready to get back to business as usual, talking about his Bible study. Lord, thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come together. But we got to talk about this fine specimen of a man that came in here playing them drums on Sunday. They say, who? Sister D, I said just like that. My mama was there, and all the people was there. Who is this fine man that came in here playing these drums?
Like, don't just act like this church as usual, y'all. Right? We need to get some clarity on the drummer. Okay.
I needed clarity on him. Who is he? Is he a friend of mine? So they say, who? Sister D-Berry's son? Now that's Marilyn.
Oh,
here I go.
This Marilyn boy?
Son. You got a son that look like that and know I'm single and ready to mingle. What is going on? Because I could not believe it. Baby. But at that time, he had a girlfriend. I am very respectful. Like, number one, I believe in that phrase for real. That's why I couldn't believe how I got here. And that's why I fought so hard. Second to none. So at that time, he had a little situation going on. I respected him and the woman that was in play. So we would just do open mics. I invite him out to open mics and different things like that because he's a musician. Okay, so like, oh my
world, you done went and got involved in his world, right?
Like, because I'm a writer, right? So like, God is doing what He do at this whole time, right? Because let me write your song, sir. No. So, y'all, oh my God. We had this time one day, my sisters and I, we were at this bowling alley. Let me tell you, we're at this bowling alley and I can't drink really like that. But if I have a one little drink or whatever the case may be, if that's it, that's it. So I had that. And when I came out, my sisters was gone. I was terrified to get behind the wheel. I called him or he called me because it was like always happening like this, right? And I'm not ashamed of the story, right? Because this is literally what happened. So right? He came and got me.
Aww.
He was like, okay, I'll drive you home. I lived in the city. I was in the south suburbs. He drove me home, got me home, made sure that I got in and everything. And I was like, now wait a minute. Like, it was just like a lot going on. This man came and he did all this, and he wasn't trying to chase my cookies or anything like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
you make you look at cookies different when you think about it from your terminology, right? I do like chocolate chip cookies, but it's like you ain't getting no cookie.
But it was so like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? Because at this time, remember, I'm heavy in my prayer life. I got to know that He speaks to me in a slow, still whisper, Right. So I'm like, what is going on? Okay, fast forward. Then I told y'all my mom passed away. And then when she passed away, he called me and he was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. That's what he said. I don't know what to say. But if you want to pray, we can pray. If you want to laugh, we can laugh. If you want to talk, we can talk. I'm on my way. And he came and he never left. Right? Like literally, like we went to, I was big in a business called Primerica at that time, right? So he came to the business meeting with me because he's business minded like me. So I'm like, come to this business meeting, come with. So one of my higher ups was like, y'all don't only make good business partners, y'all will make good life partners.
Look at this. So come on now.
And he say, so after we get the person out the car who we dropped off, he says, I ain't got no problem with that. And I'm like, now mind you, all this is going on. So I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm acting like I'm at a Lifetime movie. I'm like, like, all I need is my popcorn, girl.
Okay. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. So then we kind of started our relationship part of us started. But at work, I was working for Cook County at this time. A woman called me. She said, what are you doing? God ain't gonna bless no mess. I'm picking up the phone at work to do a refill. She said, I am a prophet of God. This is what and this is what God tell me. God ain't gonna bless.
She didn't even know you.
She didn't know me from a can of paint or a cat in an alley. Do you hear me? She said, you living with your husband. What are you doing? I was like, oh. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I can't ask him to marry me.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? She said, talk to God. So she gave me, like, we had this conversation and I went forth and I'm praying to God, like, God, look, now I heard what you said, Lord, clarify, give me directions, all this other stuff.
Right, right.
Do you know, it was during the pandemic that we know that this is what we're supposed to do because God then obviously spoke to him too. During the pandemic, he got a big family. I got a big family. We both want our family to be there, but we know God is calling us to get this done now. He wasn't laying it like he's doing now because you're already trying to scatter the process because you're living together. So
like, go ahead and make it match.
Come on, make it right. Make it right. Get your house in order. You're asking me for these things, but you won't get your house in order. You can't see the type of blessings and the things that I have designed for you. You got to be in order.
That's right.
So the pandemic came and he was like, we watched TV one day. They had a new process for the weddings and everything. He was like, okay, yeah, we could do that. I was like Medea on the keyboard.
Here we go. Hell yeah.
But no, we had conversation in that and we understood and we prayed and we did all those things which necessary. And then we understood that God was calling us to deeper levels, right? Because we have a very divinely made family, right? I didn't mention that the house that
I'm just putting some different pictures
yes, that's the oldest baby. She's in college. We have a college baby. She's at NIU be getting money. And then majoring in money in finance. This is our family. When we're getting ready to send her off to school, everybody had just finished crying and everything. So Meet the Godfreys were in an amazing production called You Don't Know My Story. And it was so dynamic. It was so profound. It was amazing. And we were a part of that. Each one of us overcoming one thing and telling our story in the art. So in the art.
Meet the Godfreys is her and her husband right there.
Yes. And then these are our babies. So one makes beats and music. One is an artist. We have a few artists here. And then one is a planner. He's a preacher as well. One keeps it in order. And then our money manager is the baby. And
the Godfreys, y'all. Yes, Meet the Godfreys.
Godfreys. And
what's your husband's name?
Kendell.
Kendell, that's right. Okay, yes. Yeah, there's Kendell. There's Kendell and the whole Godfrey crew. And let's see, I see some more pictures. There you go. He supports everything you do.
Yes, we had the book signing was this weekend. Oh my goodness, y'all. It was so when you become obedient and start doing what God wants you to do. I want to encourage everybody that's listening, right? It doesn't matter what nobody else wants you to do, if they like it, if they agree with it, you have to do right. Because let's talk about it real quick. We wanted our family at a wedding. I wanted the wedding with everybody at it and this dream wedding, but God had put a motion for us to move. because there were things that needed to be done. There was things that sometimes it's like you got to get it in order, because when you're not walking in order, you put your kids is subject to certain things. Right. Everything becomes open for the enemy to come play in because you're not walking in order. So we moved and did what God told us to do, even though it didn't, we wanted everybody there. If it was up to us, everybody would be there. Everybody's we're going to have a big, I'm going to speak prophetically right now. We're going to have a big celebration. Everybody's going to be there. Okay.
That will happen in due time.
Yes. And we're going to have a good time, because let me tell you, if God did it for us, and he's moving us to places and rooms where our names have been mentioned. I know prior to me ever even meeting you, I know my name was mentioned in a room because God said so. Right. So, this is it's an answer prayer. This is what the Lord says, an answer prayer, bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Me and my husband aims to save with love, one household at a time, let you know that love overcomes the multitude. And it may seem so cliche, but you love that person, and sometimes you gotta ask God how.
That's right.
Because everybody don't present themselves lovable.
That's right. And it's not for us to worry about how they're presenting themselves. God holds us accountable about how we behave in the situation. And that's the bottom line.
And that's the bottom
Let's see. I see some more pictures here.
Yes, this is one of the 14-year-olds. I got to get the numbers right. So we have 2 14-year-olds.
So wrong age. Like, I'm 14 now.
Right. And she's coming out of 8th grade. We have 4 graduates within our in our household right now. There she is. That was on her birthday, and guess what? When I had to heal the little girl to become the better woman, guess what? They were in that with me. So anything that I laid that could have been a seed to grow right now, self-esteem issues, things like that, those things try to go on our kids. Guess what I had to do? I had to do that, deal with that with my daughter, speak life into them, pour into them. My son, anything that he picked up, he's 17, he's getting ready to graduate from high school. This was at the book signing, the panel of lovely ladies, and this is Mama Marilyn, y'all. That's Mama Marilyn.
Oh, wait. This is your mother-in-law.
Yes.
Mother Marilyn, you had that fine drummer son, and you done threw her all out of the Holy Spirit. She over there, she trying to praise God. And she like this, praying looking over there at your son Kendell. Now it's all one big happy family. To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
Yes. Threw you all out the spirit, right?
Yes.
You know what, Dr. Muriel, when people are talking about persevering through fear, what is any advice you would give people? Because a lot of people are running scared, and it's a lot happening. And so what do you advise people to do?
The biggest thing is to take accountability. Start with the man in the mirror and go become one with God. I know it seems with everything that's going on, but get that Bible. Basic instructions before leaving earth. Get that Bible, however you want to call it, whatever you want to do, get that Bible, read it, and become personal with it.
Good.
Become personal with it. Go dive deep into it and watch your path become. It doesn't matter what come your way, because everything will be dealt with accordingly, and it's going to work together for your good. Always. Because you have made this, you've come into covenant relationship with the Master, with the Father, who literally is going to show you through, and you're going to go through, and you're going to see Jeremiah 29:11 literally in every area of your life. And it was not a devil in hell can stop it, because upon his rock did you build your church? Did you build your house? Did you say, as for you and your house, we gonna serve the Lord? Did you make a decision to choose his way over no way? Right? Because any other way is no way. Ain't no way it's gonna work. Ain't no way it's gonna come into nothing good. You may have a little few temporary whatever, but it's gonna pass anyway. Only what we do for God. Only what we do for God. Align your life with God. That will help you. That is the best. Persevere through any fear. because he didn't give us that spirit in the first place. And a lot of some of God's greats, right? Those who he called here to be great are literally being held in captivity by fear.
That's right.
Because it didn't work the first time. Well, guess what? He gives us power and authority on a lot of things. But guess what? Timing is not one. He makes everything beautiful in his own time.
His own time.
And when we literally be like, okay, God, oh, okay, so you introduced it to me that time. That's why it didn't work.
Doesn't mean that it wasn't for me, but it just got to go back and circle back in a different.
It's the time, run to get the reward.
That's right.
Because his word will never come back to us void.
That's right. You girl, you preaching on here. There's 2 more pictures I saw. That was a family picture I saw.
Yes.
And I saw this one back there. I wanted to
pop. So that's my mom and dad, guys. That's my mommy and my dad.
So I didn't get off without having them put up.
Yes, that's Big Muriel and Reggie. These are the ones. This is where not the pure love. It's where I learned it. You know what I mean? The being able to have family come together as one and love everybody, and those gems that they instilled in me, you know, they didn't go anywhere, right? They trained me up the way that I should go. It's just the parts that I picked up along the way that I had to get rid of that no longer serve me any purpose.
God, this is such, you know what, Meet the Godfreys. There are a lot of married couples out here. We're getting ready to end, but I just need to know, how can people stay connected with you? I'm assuming they can just follow you on social media.
Meet the Godfreys is on all social media platforms. Meet the Godfreys on Facebook. We go live every Thursday.
Let me put that. I said I want to put that too. Meet the Godfreys.
Meet the Godfreys. Every Thursday we go live on Facebook. We are literally working to get it displayed to other platforms at the same time. We learning this thing. But it's on every social media platform. Right now, me and the youngest baby have this thing, mommy and daughter thing going on. So you will see a lot of videos of us, right? Because she loves TikTok. She's a dancer. So she has me on there. Y'all don't laugh at me, okay? When y'all see me on there trying to dance too. Or dad, right? Because dad be in there and we do a lot of family activities. So you'll see the whole fam in there. Car rides sometimes. I have to bring y'all in to come see what I be doing.
That's right. Bring us into your world. I love it. I love it. Yes. Y'all, you don't want to miss staying connected with Dr. Muriel Godfrey, persevering through fear. She has just been the epitome of grace today here, having that beautiful, bright smile, the beautiful spirit smiling, so that we could all see her light shine brightly in the midst of any traumatic experiences that she's been through in her life. I'm just really grateful that you've been my guest today. And I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any of the photos. I think I captured them all, but I do want to put this photo up one more time and just let everybody know that whenever you see situations like this with this Delta airline flight that flipped over, went into a fiery flame, and all of the passengers survived. I got this right off of social media and all of the different news outlets that's been sharing this. For them to all survive is nothing short of a miracle being worked by God. So God is still in the miracle working business.
Yes, he is.
For whatever reason, he allowed their lives to be spared, because there's a work for them to still do here on this earth. Yes. And I'm a big believer that even when we transition from this earth, because on another flight out of Washington, the Washington, D.C. crew and all of the students and parents and people that were on that flight and the Black Hawk flight that collided, here's the thing. I still believe that God still allowed them to win and have victory too.
Amen.
Because even when we transition from this earth, we get the opportunity to be in our eternal resting place.
Yes, yes.
And so, you know, some people look at death as us. That's it. I don't look at death that way. I look at it as we're now transitioning into our permanent home.
Yes. Yes.
So we win regardless. And it's not like they won, the other ones didn't. We all win, but we win in different ways. And people's lives from a balance perspective are impacted differently, because so many people have transitioned in the one situation where a lot of families are here left grieving and mourning the loss of their loved ones. So keep everybody in prayer. And I can't think of it. Okay, that's all. I invite you all to always come to our church on Sundays at Promise Fellowship Church. If you're anywhere near the Charlotte and surrounding areas, this Sunday we're going to be doing, well, I'm not even going to timestamp the show because I'll be replaying it. Just come if it's a Sunday, 10 a.m. Make sure you're in the house at Promise Fellowship Church. I'm a new pastor and would love to have you there. And I did put in the comment section a way for you to register for our upcoming summit with eWomen Network. We have Sandra Yancey traveling from Dallas, Texas. She will be in Charlotte, North Carolina on May 7th. And it is an empowerment summit teaching us how to unlock profit power in business as business entrepreneurs. And our sponsor is Epic Living with Jean Tillery. So make sure that if you can make your way to Charlotte, North Carolina, people are coming from all over the country because she only selects a certain amount of cities to do this tour in. So make sure that you go ahead and register, and it is in the comment section. My final comment today is to let you know that if you have not poured into the Kim Jacobs Show, if you have not supported our broadcast or became a partner with our program, I do want you to, let's see, where can you go? I got to show you how to give, right? Partner with us today, right here. You can partner with the Kim Jacobs Show. There are a lot of times that there are community broadcasting stations, and they are based solely on the contributions from community members. This is the only way the Kim Jacobs Show is able to bring balance to your home through wonderful guests like Dr. Muriel and guests that tune in to be a part of our broadcast. So take a moment and donate through PayPal, which is paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. You can even Zelle to 704-962-7161. And you can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show, or a Mother Dreamer member, motherdreamer.com/join. But make sure you sow into the program so that we can keep all of the subscriptions and the team in place and bring balance to your house, one household at a time. Dr. Muriel, any closing comment from you?
Just know that you can do it. If you get up, there's life and breath in your body. There's a plan for you to prosper. Get up and go for it until you see it. Tap in with those who are higher up that are able to pull you up, right? Don't reach down because ain't nothing on the ground. You already been there because you got knocked down. Don't reach down, but reach up.
Don't you start rapping now, girl. You got all kind of gifts and talents over there with your drummer husband. You to it and then you rapping, girl. You good.
Hey, man. I do have a project coming. Look forward to us touring. We're gonna tour some more, so we'll give you some more information on that, because Meet the Godfreys got to get out there and come see some other cities. So
come back on the show with all of you guys one time.
That'll be amazing.
If it has to be a special time because everybody's out of school or whatever we need to do, just tell me, Kim, I got everybody together. I'll come on live and I'll ask some questions to the different ones that are Godfreys. And I would love to have the Godfreys,
that'll be so
whole
fun.
Crew.
Yes, I'm going to get that together.
You can use some of their talents and different things, whatever.
Yes. I'm going to get them together so we can come on the Kim Jacobs Show. We'll be here. This will be our first stop.
There you have it. Listen, Dr. Eleanor, I see you said, I'm so proud of you, my friend. You are blessed and highly favored by God. I also see your comment saying, oh my God, I love this post, my friend talking to you. And I see you, Michaela. I see you, Catherine. I see you, Taisha. I see you, Janie. I see you, Sonia. I see you, Dr. Shana. I see you, Dr. Eleanor. I see you, Alicia. I see you, Keisha. I see you, Brian, Deacon Brian. I see you, Tamala. I see you, Dr. Tina. Dr. Mother Trudy, I see all of you guys. I may not have named everybody, but I'm just so glad and so godly grateful that you tuned into the Kim Jacobs Show today. You are amazing. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you.
Oh my God, God is amazing, right? Like we don't got to do nothing but just go and flow.
Just be obedient.
Be obedient.
I can stay on here all day with you. I know we gotta go. Anyway, I love you. I love all of you in the studio audience. And thank y'all for tuning in. See you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.